We're going to look now at programming exercise 9, which refers to the routine make move, which I've got in front of us, and a new routine. It says at the moment when a reader reaches the other end of the board, it's automatically changed into a Marsaz-Pani, and we can see that here. So if it's white's turn and the piece is going to end up on the first rank, then it's promoted to a white Marsaz-Pani if it was a readem, and likewise if it's black and it's going to reach the 8th rank, because that shows it's got to the back of the board. But it says here it would be desirable for the player to choose which piece they would like to change it into. They can't change it into a Sarrum, we're told, but apart from that it would be nice if they had a choice to change it into one of the other pieces. So it says to write a new routine called select piece that asks the player which piece they want to change and returns the value to the make move routine. The make move routine should use this and replace the readem accordingly. So because it says that this routine should return the value to the make move routine, I'm hopeful that you've picked up on the fact that it's going to need to be a function that we write. So I'm going to write this function, select piece, and it's going to return a character. The character representing the type of piece. We've already got that coding going on. E is Etlu, N is Nabu, etc. So we're just going to get it to return a character. We're going to need a variable to store the user's response. So I'm going to call that user choice. And again, it's going to be a character. So, just going to write what readem to. That's fairly straightforward, and hopefully you'd all get that. And we're going to read it in as their choice. But with this as it is at the moment, there's quite a lot of chance for the user just to enter, first of all, to not know what to enter, or to enter something that doesn't really make sense. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to say the different set of options. Which one have I forgotten? Can't have a Sarrum. Readem is what it started off as, so it's Gigsigir. Just because I want to be consistent, I'm going to add a capital letter there. Now, of course, if you're being really thorough about it, you could add in some validation here to make sure they only entered one of these values. I'm not going to do that because I'm in a bit of a hurry to do this tutorial for you. I've got a time limit on these videos I can make, but it would be a good exercise for you to do so that this went in a loop until they entered one of these valid choices, okay? Because otherwise it could potentially crash the program, and we don't want that. I'm going to read in the user's choice and then simply return it back to where the routine was called from by writing this line of code. So the select piece function is just going to return whatever value we've read in as the user choice variable. Okay. But of course we need to call our function from somewhere. So it's only going to happen in one of these two cases, either when the white readums reach rank 1 or the black readums reach rank 8. So I'm going to say here, I'm just going to add another variable. Chosen piece char. I'm going to say that chosen piece becomes, what did we call our function? Select piece. And because in this case it's whose turn, and it's white's turn, and actually what it was before is it would change this to WM for white Marsaz-Pani. At the moment, chosen piece is just going to be the piece name, like a Marsaz-Pani. It's not going to select specify the W. So I'm actually going to say chosen piece becomes W plus select piece, so it'll do the concatenation. So whatever, it will have white at the front, whatever, and then it will be the user's input here. And then we'll just write that into the position on the board instead. And then the same down here, chosen piece. And I'm sure you can guess at this stage it's going to become B for black plus select piece. And then again here, I'm just going to pause while I test it just to make sure that I haven't made any errors, and as long as I haven't, then we'll end the video there and you can give it a go for yourselves. Right, I've made a really obvious mistake, which some of you might have spotted even as I was coding it. I said chosen piece was going to be a char when I was thinking just about that one character. But of course, because we're concatenating it with W, it needs to be a string because it's going to be more than one character long. So that was just me being a bit daft. I'll change that to a string and hopefully it should run this time. Okay, I'm happy to report that that is now working. What I did is I moved this white readem from this position to this position, so it got to the back of the board. And when it did, I was asked what piece would I like to promote my readem to. I entered G for gigs a gear, and you can then see the white gigs a gear in that spot there. So that successfully worked. I had the choice of what I wanted to upgrade to. I wasn't stuck with Mars as Panny. Your turn to give it a go now.